Instagram has made everybody a photographer, and it has made photography very, very easy.
Hello, my dear friends. Yes, that's your host, Luv Israni. Thank you for encouraging me to go so far.
And we purchased my first camera. I still remember my mom asking them, "Ek calendar free doge ki nahi?" Because those days when you went to buy something and they would give these freebies. I'm very fascinated with what you've created for yourself, and it's so nice to see you sitting on that chair besides being a photographer and talking. I would love to swap places with you someday. And somebody said, "अरे आपने हर टाइप का फोटोग्राफी किया, आपने वाइल्ड लाइफ कभी ट्राई क्यों नहीं किया?" मैंने बोला, आप आओ बॉलीवुड में तो यहाँ पे वाइल्ड लाइफ ही है और कुछ नहीं है, आपको उसी से डील करना पड़ेगा।
Hello everybody, welcome to Level Up with Love. Yes, आज का नया एपिसोड लेके मैं आ गया हूँ आप सबके सामने. Today our guest is a brilliant portrait photographer. Yes, he's somebody who's captured so many celebrities. Whether you talk about Katrina Kaif or the late Sridevi, he's captured them all. And he's somebody who's been their favorite. He's not only shot for celebrities, their personal portraits. He's also shot for magazines, for brands, and particular books. Yes, he's somebody who's carved a niche in this industry. So, my dear friends, I'm super excited to start today's episode. Are you also excited? Let's welcome my dear friend Vickky Idnaani in the house, who's not only a photographer, but today he's also a fashion designer. He's off lately started off a menswear brand. So let's welcome Vickky in the house. Abhi, what gets you to wake up every day from your bed?
My joint pain.
He's really gone through such hustles every day.
Oh my god, I had tears in my eyes. First paycheck I got was 40,000 at the age of 14 and a half.
साला शादी वाला फोटोग्राफर लग रहा हूँ मैं तुम्हें. I said यार I want to become a director. साला मेरा कोई पैसा तो नहीं काटेगा.
How does one become a photographer if he's using compositing?
How many times did love come in it?
Oh, love is the way of our life, man.
Listen, when did you pick up your camera for the first time?
At the age of 11.
An accident.
Can you imagine shooting Amitabh Bachchan for the first time and you get fired by him?
Oh my god, I think.
Just make this content viral.
It's a very tricky situation.
That journey began, I would say, magically.
So I said 12 दिन के अगर जो 8,000 रुपया मिल रहा है तो ठीक है. And he was like, no, I'm paying you per day 8,000 rupees. You have to innovate and shock yourselves every 3 years.
That's a cheers moment. So Vickky, welcome once again to Capturing. Wow, it's a pleasure to have you with us again.
It's always a pleasure being on your show and talking to you, Love. So thank you for having me.
So let's just dive into the conversation. I think a lot of our viewers want to know that today you've been there for 2 decades, but how did this start? So let's go back to 2 decades. When did you realize that you wanted to be a photographer and how?
Well, it started with a wedding in the family. And, I took my little point and shoot camera and I clicked pictures. And I think somewhere that stayed inside my subconscious, that how much fun I had clicking pictures and, directing people more than anything else. If I, at the wedding venue, if someone was standing by the poolside or if someone was, in a nice group of color coordinated people. And, I go there, click some pictures. I think that's when this, journey would have started subconsciously.
But which was your first camera?
Well, the professional series was an icon, in those days. Nikon was the camera to have. So I still remember, taking my mom. I was studying at the JD School of Art and we had to do a photo shoot. So I took my mom to this place for Standard Supply, in the VT, and we purchased my first camera. I still remember my mom asking them, एक calendar free दोगे कि नहीं, because those days when you went to buy something and they would give these freebies. And I was like, Mom, stop it. You come here to buy a camera and you're asking for a freebie. But that's how the whole journey, whenever journey started, actually.
No, but I think your first camera was here to point and shoot. So let's start from the start as a kid. The first camera, I'm assuming, is a point and shoot. So let's talk about that.
I won't even remember the name, actually. I think in one of those, like a sandwich ice cream, those kind of cameras used to be there. I think maybe it could be a Yashica or something like that. I have a memory of that, actually. Like I said, it started way back, and as on a subconscious level, I think you said that journey has manifested. So I would not even remember the name.
Okay. But how did you get into JJ School of Arts?
Well, I was studying, I was doing like every boy my age, we were thinking of the more lucrative career options, of either getting into engineering, MBA, or, maybe hotel management. Those days, these were the courses that, around, in and around me, people were kind of pursuing. So I would have thought of all these things at that time. And also, interior decoration was something that I immensely enjoyed. I thought I had a flair for interiors as well. So I also, took information and details regarding interior decoration, basically. And then I think out of all, I think photography chose me, and that's how, I kind of started my journey as a photographer, yes.
So who was your inspiration back then? I mean, whom were you looking up to?
M.F. Hussain, the great Indian artist, was working on his first film and was looking for a kind of a photographer to be on the set. So he just randomly suggested my name, and I landed up going to our meeting with M.F. Hussain, and he thought, we click me a few pictures and let's see. I remember he was shooting with Mohan Agassi at Minimum Studio. And, I just took my camera, I clicked some pictures. That evening, we used to shoot us on the rolls on the camera. So I had shot some black and white pictures, and maybe my technical finesse would have not yet come into the play. So I went to my printer and I processed those pictures with him, and I got them as per the way I would like to see my photographs on a nice black and white panel board paper. And I just made up one bunch of pictures and I took it and I got my job. So the first job with Margaret Dixit for M.F. Hussain at Menon Studio.
Oh, by God, that's a blessing to start off with the
Yes. Project. Yes. And I have various different stories around that project. One of them being that the legendary photographer Gautam Rajalachar was also asked to come and shoot some pictures. And I was on the set, and he came and he said, no, the lighting here is not so great for still photography. So he packed up his bag and he left. Obviously, he couldn't, get what he wanted, in that kind of a setup. But yeah, I stayed there. I was there for 10, 15 days, and I made a portfolio for myself, and I got out only after I got some good picture. But that is the kind of time I could invest as a photographer. 15 days on that set was a blessing for sure. Yes, that's how it started.
So what were after that? So after this first 4 weeks, how did it start becoming a daily routine or week of common?
Yeah, so that I learned that, okay, people seem to be, willing to give me a chance. And I was definitely very curious to understand the business and grow on the job. And I think that day and today, I don't think the learning curve ever stops. Every day is a new realization. Every day is, a new learning. And then we go and we execute it at our shoots. And that's how our work, also keeps evolving and growing. And
so I would normally ask somebody, which was your first break or which made you, but I think your first job was your first break itself, where there are two literal things ki bhai, other people say, when a saal was on other study, their first big break.
Yeah.
Their first break was a big break by itself.
Itself, yes. And simultaneously, then, I remember those days, Julieta Sen, who I was absolutely in love with. She had just won the Miss Universe, and I went to meet her, and, we instantly hit it off. And then I think she was being launched on, I'm sure she was launched with this actor called Sharad Kapoor. So I got a chance to work with him as well. So it started with all these few bunch of people, Sushmita Sen, Madhuri Dixit, Sharad Kapoor, Suman Ranganathan. This was the breed, that was at that point brewing and thriving. Madhuri Dixit was actually brewing, she was thriving. And MF Hussain,
So what were those things that you did and how did you do? If you can break it down for our audience.
So I guess one day I had to come and say, with you and give you a open tale. So it's the universe also conspiring to, help you, with your deep-rooted desires. Like I said, if my subconscious mind, those film posters and, the film magazine cover was so deep-rooted. Somewhere, all of that, like I said, would have manifested in me approaching those kind of people or me including those tips in my photography.
So you're a firm believer of manifestation and...
Absolutely. That I am, but at that point, I didn't understand any of it. So, because today I understand it, I believe it, I'm thinking that these could be the reasons. Like you said, if I have to talk about 3 ingredients to have helped me, get started in this journey, with absolutely no guidance from any family member in terms of, this kind of work, or even for that matter, a business. Like, I don't think there was anybody who would be able to guide me at home. So you have to trust your instinct and, you have to just learn it at the job. You've got to make your mistakes. You've got to, get beaten up or get, reprimanded and then learn from it and not repeat it. I think that's what it is a very important part of growth.
But a lot of people in today's age, like you said, because you're from a magazine and you walk right into the office, a lot of people get intimidated that, yes, I'm not worthy enough. Yes. I'm a kid. Right. So did you not have those fears of walking into the magazine office then?
Absolutely not. I was so ignorance is bliss, they said. And that's exactly what was my story. So I remember I had 3 distinct interactions, now that you bring it up. One was the Mr. Bachchan. I remember he was shooting for Budding Me and Forte Mia. Again, it was Memo Studio. And I landed up over there. And I just walked up to them and I said, I would love to photograph you. I said, but why won't you want to photograph me? Now, he being, the big star and the genius that he is, he just turned up on thing and made me feel was so great. Having good result theory. And I, instead of, obviously, not knowing what in this conversation where going, it caught me completely otherwise. So I couldn't know, I've learned a few new techniques. Those days we used to take a transparency film and we used to cross-process it. So I don't know, if you remember that,
So I am a digital photographer. I started out with digital. Okay.
So I have done all of that. So we used to take a transparency role and we used to process it in the negative form. So it was called cross-processing. And automatically it used to leave a yellow cast. It used to leave, a lot of drama. And, the details used to get lost, but it used to give a very dramatic effect. That kind of photography. So I, with my confidence, told him we should do something like this, with your experience and your age.
So with that being said, you've been working for so many years. You're somebody who's today shot with so many books, and this is something that nobody touches. So I understand you started off with Bollywood. You were shooting celebrities, you were shooting movies. How did the journey of working on the legendary artist and the books happen?
Magazines was a beautiful business. It was like a dream come true for me. And there is no end to shooting. You shoot one star after the other, and then you do feature after another feature, and all artists a few of them used to swear by me. They used to keep coming back to shoot with me. I remember in this particular bracket, I would like to thank people like Aisha Takya, a couple of photo shoots with Sushmita Sen, then Serena Jedney, another Miss India, which just, I did 7 years of all the campaigns, all her magazine covers, all the photo shoots. So that kind of consistency, once you get from artists and from magazines like Stardust, they used to give me a photo shoot month after month. So that helped me sustain in the business. But then there comes a time when you feel that, okay, your pictures are all over. They come and let it go. And, a lot of those don't get, people don't remember you. You invested so much. Your piece of your art is, invested in creating those kind of concepts and executing them. But those pictures don't really have a life or sort of have a shell. They have a shelf life. They don't stay beyond those 30, 40 days in your head and your mind. They're, kind of archived for the rest of your life. But it's not the case with the real people. And during my journey with Stardust, I had the privilege of working with Mr. Kapoor, which is Rishi Kapoor. And, I had created some concepts for him because for me, the great RK, Mr. Kapoor was going to come into my studio. So I had created a certain concept. Like I see a beautiful set over here, we had created a concept where I had thought of a tagline for the magazine. And I wanted it to be this, being the showman's son. The show must go on. So I had kind of punned on it and I said, the snow must go on. So a set like this was kind of created and we had kept snowflakes flying up, and he holding an umbrella. So that was the concept that I had, and he immensely enjoyed the process of that photo shoot in my studio. And, then, of course, he was happy. He gave us his blessings and, it was a very lovely interactions. And then we all went our separate ways. And then his book called Khulla Khulla was worked out. And then he tried to reach out to me through his publishers and his writer, Meena Iyer. And, he looked for my number as he asked him to get in touch with me for the cover of his book. And just at that point, I was in that process of figuring out what next, It was beginning to get monotonous and that excitement was kind of going. The magazines were, becoming far as you, So this one just happened. And then a new, process started because, a new chapter got added, with him, then followed, with Hema Malini and Mithun Chakravarti, their book covers came in, we saw those. So yeah, that's how.
So, but before we go on more books, tell me, how would you create these concepts? I mean, I think it's a very fascinating idea while you're talking about this picture of the snow and all. So how did this concept get created?
So yeah, like, Mr. Kapoor was at a certain age and stage of his career. But you can't just do glamour all the time. You can't always have people, shoot them as just as portraits. So, you have to go within yourself and create the kind of things that you would like to do also. And I remember, even though we had created a set like this, against like a snow won't be generally, some builder there's some mountains behind, a very Switzerland kind of a feel. But I said, no, let's break that contrast. And I put an orange background, a stark orange against the navy blue suit that he was wearing, a Burberry umbrella, and, then the snow was happening. So, every time you think of the subject in front of you and you will create a concept, weave a concept around them, So somewhere I would have seen a picture probably of someone holding an umbrella and some snowflakes. And then, I would have thought and recreated something, that image would have stayed in my mind and I would twist it, break it into pieces, and then you always get inspired to something you'd seen and you were absolutely, yeah. Whenever I saw something that excited me, I would add my own twist to it because I don't want to copy it. If someone has done it, then it's already done. Now, how do you make it? How do you create your own, with your own voice, style? Absolutely. So that is the creative process, that I enjoy the most, of course.
So after this book, you got into even doing the Sridevi's book. So can you throw some light on how does Sridevi's book happen?
So Sridevi is my most favorite artist. I mean, for me, there is the buck stops at Sridevi. There's no bigger artist for me in this country. I mean, there are legends and there are beauties and there are fantastic divas and dudes. But for me, an actor, the evident, she's the whole part. I feel, she has comedy, she has the glamour, she has the costume drama. She was a complete artist for me, like the all and encapsulated. So when I got a chance to work with her, it was a dream come true again, and we'd done some pictures and she really, really liked those. And then she said, let's plan another shoot. This time, you take up a concept and I'll come to your studio and we will do something nice. And we had done, a couple of beautiful pictures. And then the shock, the whole country got when she passed away. And there was this artist called Satya Naik who was working on her biography. And he got in touch with me. He's like, we've approached a lot of photographers, but I believe you've done something also with her. Would you like to share her images with us? And I shared some pictures and we loved those and he wanted those to go on the cover of her book. And I always feel that, when she was not in her body, somewhere she orchestrated that and made it happen, while she was not in human, life, it was a blessing. I look at it like that, for whatever little interaction we had and for the beautiful memories that we created, even personally, like she invited me for a tea to her house and then mom, I think English was really great and she sent me the invites for the film. And at the premiere, I remember going and she's asking me, why did you bring your mom? You spoke so well about her. I thought you will bring your mother for the premiere. I mean, so we had that kind of, we hadn't hit it off, we had come on that 11th in a period of 2 or 3 shoots only. So yeah, I think somewhere she saw how much I, was fascinated and, in awe of her, literally. And I think she made that happen. That was a blessing. From there.
But I'm sure today, 2 decades back now, when you look back, you realize that, okay, these are certain things that have really worked for me.
So well, keeping that question, I mean, like I said, it was not done in a formulaic way, but I would think my drive to photograph them differently each time they came to me. Because if I've shot with you once, now the second time to shoot with you again, I have to challenge my own self. Right? Like for example, right now you're wearing this beautiful black and white shirt, and suppose I would like to photograph you. The next time I don't want to shoot you in a shirt. I would make sure that you wear a suit for me.
So Vickky, if you're not a photographer, what would you be?
So if I can be a photographer and I can be something else also. And COVID times got us very close to that whole feeling of, we were all stuck indoors and stuff like that. That's when I realized the other thing besides photography that we end up doing is, the first question is, what will we wear when we are being photographed? And, then those meetings and interactions with all the fashion designers or the stylists kind of came into play. And I started, sketching and thinking, how to create some new kind of clothing. It started with first for myself, but then I realized that can be a full-fledged job. So we launched my label in just immediately after COVID, because sitting at home, I had sketched a whole lot of new things that I would like to, execute and make our own collection of clothing. So yeah, we also have a Vickky Idnaani label. And
so how do you manage now the Vickky Idnaani label and the Vickky Idnaani photography?
I had decided that, I'd give a week, 10 days in a month behind the clothing trend, which I thought, was not very difficult. But I have realized that, yes, it will be a bit of a tightrope walk. And so far we are doing well. We come out with 2 or 3 collections in a year. And, so that pretty much takes care of the free time that we have beyond the photography. And so far we are doing good. My niece and husband, Vickky Idnaani and Kushan Park, they have their store in Dubai. It's got here gone. So I collaborate with them, and my entire collection is showcased at their store. So right now it's pretty concordant within the, and so that's the good part that's happening simultaneously. So I don't have to give up photography to do something else. So yeah, the God's we find that we have instrumental all the work together.
So you work with such great directors, and while being a part of the creative industry, you worked with the Bollywood industry. You spoke of so many actors.
Right.
But what about the directors that you worked with? How's the experience been working with these directors?
So Bollywood is as much about the directors as it is about the actors. And, being a creative photographer who likes to do conceptual photography, for me, it was a dream if I could just be on the same set as Sanjay Leela Bansal, And I think he was one of the first directors that I got a chance also to work with, besides MF Hussain, I worked at the start of my career, who was not really a director, who was actually an artist, and, who was making it, a foray into the film industry and directed his first film. So, I was wanting to, experience this magic of being on the set and working. So, again, I've had a chance to work with Sanjay Leela Bansal, with Owen Guav, with Ansal Mehta, couple of more, interesting people. Rohit Shetty. Yeah.
So, but what is the brief they give you, and how do you work with them? So, for the career path, so a lot of young photographers who are really now finding opportunities.
Right.
Give us a close on the process of working with these directors.
Right. So with Sanjay Leela Bansal, we worked on a look test of one of his upcoming films, where he was just in the process of creating characterizations for his artists. And, for that, you need to have a photographer to see how the characters will look on camera. So, I think and like I said, I enjoy every aspect of photography. So we have been discussing mostly editorial shoots, but there is advertising, there is fashion, there is, portfolios. There are so many different aspects to photography. I wanted to master almost every aspect of photography.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? What are you currently working on? Let's talk about your recent celebrities you've been working with, and what are your future projects from there?
We recently did a cover for Society magazine with Rohit Shetty, the art shot director. So that was one of the shoots. Then we shot with Mrinal Thakur for a feature for HT magazine, HT branch. So new work keeps coming. Sonu Nigam did a entire USA Canada concert, so we did the entire campaign for him for that. Shot with him a lot, and but this time we got a chance to work with him as a musician, so that was amazing. We constantly work with this filmmaker, got something saying he makes a lot of movies, and in fact, working on his director's debut right now. So we collaborating with him on a few projects, and the journey goes on. There is another cover with Heva Adani that's coming. We did her both cover. After that, we did a couple more magazine covers with her, and now there is another one coming up. So it's a mixed bag of different kinds of work. From a concert to a film magazine cover to a film. All of it, the journey keeps getting exciting and keeps continuing.
So, Vicky, what do you think about formal education? How important is formal education for today, the young generation who are starting off? Should they do it on their own, or should they really go through a formal process?
No, it's always nicer when you have someone to direct you and, tell you what to do. Of course, finally, it's all about jumping into the pool and learning how to swim. You could have a few techniques. Having said that, finally, it's how you're going to deal. I am learning this over the years, my own self, it's very important, it takes years to learn what to say, but it takes a lifetime to learn what not to say. So if you learn that fast, that is how you will, survive in this whole world. And somebody said, अरे आपने हर टाइप का फोटोग्राफी की, आपने वाइल्ड लाइफ कभी ट्राई क्यों नहीं किया? मैंने बोला आप आओ बॉलीवुड में तो यहाँ पे वाइल्ड लाइफ ही है और कुछ नहीं, आपको उसी से डील करना पड़ेगा. So that is how you have to understand where you are, how much to speak and how much not to speak is as important. So those trainings no institute is going to give you. That a well-wisher, family member, someone who loves you will try to tell you that, but you have to be at the current, in your space, in your own head to accept, what someone is saying and then use it to your advantage. So that, I think, that's a process, that's a journey. And, don't fret. You will learn. You might learn it the hard way, but as long as you learn is good.
Awesome. Perfect, Vicky. Thank you for being here and talking to us and, taking us through your journey of how you've come up a long way and what you've been doing. So it's a pleasure always talking to you. And thank you for joining us here. As we close the chapter on Vickky Idnaani's extraordinary career, let's take a moment to reflect on the inspiring words shared by him. The importance of perseverance, creativity, and seizing every opportunity that comes your way. The release of a cover for a book dedicated to the legendary actress was a testament to his ability to capture not just moments but emotions, freeze them into time. So yes, my dear friends, I'm going to see you next Friday in the next episode. Until then, stay inspired, keep learning, and do share this episode with somebody if you think who needs to learn and change his perspective. I will see you in the next episode.